Hello, and welcome to this special support conversation showcase for Chapter 7. So these are all of the support conversations I've accumulated since the start of Chapter 6 going into Chapter 7. There are going to be a whole bunch of them. So grab a chair if you haven't. Get a snack, get a drink, and I will show you all of these support conversations that I've gotten. Enjoy.
Hey, what's wrong? Something on your mind?
Kinda, yeah. Remember before when we were talking about my mom? The more I think about it, the more I'm realizing she really was a strange person.
What do you mean?
Exactly that. Everything about her was kinda just a mystery. I've spent hours trying to puzzle out how she might have ended up in that remote village, but I keep coming up empty. I mean, someone that smart is rare even in the biggest cities, right? She practically knew everything. Even using magic was a breeze for her.
She may not have talked much about her past, but can you think of anything she mentioned that could give you a clue? Maybe something about the people she knew, or unique things she owned.
If she did, it's not coming to me. She's been gone so long now. So, yeah, nothing really springs to mind. I don't even have any mementos to remember her by.
Then we'll just have to investigate. I'll help.
Investigate? As in, my mom? Where'd that come from?
Well, both of my parents died in an epidemic when me and my siblings were still very young. I still have some hazy memories of them. Food they used to make, that kind of stuff. But that's really all I have left. And since they were commoners, there's almost no record of them. All my searches came up empty. I know how much that hurts, so it's not hard for me to sympathize with what you're going through.
Huh.
Really, it's just so I can get my own closure. We don't have to do it if you don't want to.
Express reservations.
I don't know. I'd love to know more about my mom, but I'd feel kinda weird dragging you into it.
Don't worry about that. I want to help, and I can learn more about you while I do it.
Okay then, how are we doing this thing?
The most sensible place to start would be talking to people who knew her.
I doubt anyone in the village really remembers her though. We weren't exactly the most social family.
Still, someone must have known her. It's impossible to stay completely unnoticed in those small mountain towns. It's entirely feasible one of the villagers can tell us something. Or, what about the village chief?
If anyone's gonna remember her, it's him. But for all I know, he could be dead by now too.
Then we'll just have to send a letter and find out. And if we never get a response because no one there can read, well, in that case, we can go ourselves.
Guess it's worth a shot. I feel kinda bad sending a messenger out that far, but we might as well see what happens.
Great. Now come on, let's get started on that letter.
Do people still write letters?
Hey, what are the words to that song again? Something about an eagle and a lion flying through the sky?
A flying lion? Pretty sure I know the song you're talking about, but those definitely ain't the lyrics I've heard. The one I know is about some horse with a human face running through the greenest grass you ever did see.
Now that you mention it, that does sound familiar. What a weird thing to sing about. I wonder who wrote it.
Yeah, this isn't working.
You can say that again. I finally finished rewriting the lyrics and everything, but they aren't catching on. Not at all.
I've even heard people theorizing that the horse with the human face is some kind of grand metaphor. You know, since he's a mix of human wisdom and a horse's pure strength, the song is saying that the brave warrior who possesses both will win in the end. Or that the horse is some kind of messenger sent by the goddess to punish sinners.
Why did it come to this? I didn't have any of that stuff in mind when I was writing it. I just wanted to sing about a knight rushing through an open field. And then I snuck in a tiny bit of Dusker mythology that Dedu told me about.
Not sure how you got from that to a song about a horse with a human face.
I already told you that's not what it is! It's a mythological warrior being from Dusker legend.
Alright, alright. Either way, everyone obviously prefers the original version. So, all's well that ends well, right? They say once people hear a song, it's out of the composer's hands forever. The author is dead, all that stuff.
I know you're just saying all this to make me feel better.
Well, yeah, I can't deny that. Sorry, Annette. But it's true that there's nothing you can really do now. Even if you write totally new lyrics and sing them for the whole army, there's no guarantee they'll get as big as the ones that are already out there.
You have a point, but still.
Listen, Annette, songs have a lot of power. They help people in need, give them courage when they're down on their luck. And if you ask me, I think yours could inspire our troops out on the battlefield too.
I don't know.
Hey, what even is a human-faced horse anyway? Is it some kind of monster?
Ain't no monster I've ever heard of. Maybe it's a horrible beast that comes crawling up out of the bowels of the earth.
Don't say stuff like that. You're gonna ruin a perfectly happy song.
Aww.
That's why some remixes aren't as good as the originals.
Hey Ingrid, glad I tracked you down. Have you ever heard of Tobias's mercenaries?
That sounds familiar.
What an odd question. Tobias, The name does sound familiar somehow.
Huh, I thought everybody knew about them. Captain Burling must have exaggerated that part. Anyway, they were a big mercenary group my old captain used to be in when she was a kid. Apparently their leader, Tobias, was so loyal to one of the local lords that he was practically an honorary advisor.
Strange. I thought mercenaries kept interactions with their employers strictly business.
Most do, but not only did these mercs fight for this lord, they pitched in building the castle town too. They even went so far as to trade their swords and bows for hoes and pitchforks and tilled the barren land for the farmers of the region. And they opened up shops in town when the lord was going through some financial troubles.
It sounds like they went far beyond what is expected of most mercenaries. Unless... is that something you all do?
Oh, not at all. We're fighters through and through. Nobody in their right mind would ask us to drop everything to become farmers or merchants. Basically, both the mercenaries and the Lord were doing stuff way different from how they normally do.
Yes, of course. A bunch of sellswords planting seeds and tending a shop is certainly unheard of.
In the end, the captain grew so close to the noble of the region that people started calling him the Lord's right-hand man. I guess my point is, it doesn't matter what you are, mercenary, knight, noble, you aren't tied to any one role just because of the title you hold. Even battle-hardened mercs can end up as farmhands if that's what the client calls for. And if that's possible, surely a noble can do anything they want too.
True enough. That ties into our conversation from before as well. Thank you. I will give the matter some thought.
Good. I know it won't be easy to find the answer, but I'm here to bounce ideas off if you ever need it. And no matter what, I'm just glad my old captain's story actually helped you. All this stuff about Tobias and his mercenaries really caught me off guard the first time I heard it.
You were right about that. But, I cannot shake the feeling that this Tobias person is familiar somehow. Wait, I remember now. I believe the noble in your story may have actually been my grandmother.
Really? The last head of House Galatea?
Yes. I don't remember very well since I was still so young, but I recall she had a friend by the name Tobias. Though I find it difficult to believe the old man I knew was once a strapping mercenary captain.
If it really was him, he must have climbed the ranks even further than I realized. I mean, not just anyone can meet a noble's family like that. Who would have thought this old story would hit so close to home?
Certainly not me.
Connections.
Yeah, and watch your back out there, okay?
You loud and clear, boss. Sure glad I got you in my corner.
Now then, just gotta... Oh. What are you hiding back there for, Bernadetta?
Who was that guy you were just talking to?
Oh, who? That? Just a merc buddy of mine, asking if I had any jobs for him.
Oh, he was a mercenary? But he looked like a bandit!
Hey, come on now. You shouldn't assume the guy's a common criminal just because he looks rough around the edges.
But, what about the way he talked? Oh, so scary!
You'd sound like that too if you'd been a merc your whole life. Most of these guys didn't have a mom teaching them how to sound nice and proper like I did.
I see. I guess I don't really know you that well, but... Are all your friends like that? Is that too nosy? That's really nosy, huh?
Oh yeah, whole gang's all pretty much the same. Guess that means you're not going into the merc business anytime soon, huh?
Obviously not! No way, not happening! Even if I wasn't as shy as I am, I'd never be able to handle all those scary people at once!
That sounds like your anxiety talking. You'd see there's nothing to be afraid of if you just gave them a fair shot. And, hey, isn't basing your opinion of strangers on their appearance just gonna make you feel worse?
Well, what else am I supposed to base my opinion on?
Just spend some time with them. If you ask me, the best place to judge someone's character is either on the battlefield or over the dinner table.
I already told you I can't! Not me! Nope! Please, I need you to understand!
Girl, back off.
I get it, Bernadetta. I do. But let me ask you this. Is his appearance the only thing that's making you distrust him? There are plenty of guys out there who look just like that but have a heart of solid gold. Nicest folks you'll ever meet. By the same token, there are some real horrible people who cover it up with niceties and honeyed words. The kind of people who prey on others. My point is, judging a book by its cover will only get you in trouble. Trust me, you can't always tell who's good and who's bad from looks alone.
Why are you trying to scare me? Nobody's tricking the iron heart of Bernie. Not today, not ever. Well, probably. Maybe. I'll be fine, I swear.
Bernie has some learning to do.
An opera company smack dab in the middle of the imperial capital, huh? I can't even begin to imagine what that must be like. I mean, I've been all over the place for my mercenary work, but it's mostly just been for small-time rural lords and the like. Honestly, I'd never even met anyone from the big cities like Enbar or Ferdiad before coming to Garreg Mach.
You know, shows in the capital are about 1,000 times flashier than the little town festival shows you might be used to. Every important moment of the drama is conveyed through elaborate song, and at the center of the musical ensemble stands its star, the diva.
I think I get the idea. These divas sound pretty incredible. They probably get stage names and everything if they're that important, huh?
Oh, but of course, I was known as the mystical songstress.
Hey, that's pretty good. There always has been this kind of indescribable aura surrounding you.
Thanks, but I have mixed feelings about the name myself. They called me that because of how suddenly a street orphan like me was discovered and debuted.
Yeah, I see how there could be some complicated feelings wrapped up in that. But if you were able to rise from that to diva, you must have the chops to back it up. Not that I can even picture what that would sound like. Hey, do you think you could sing something for me?
Since you asked so nicely, but I'm only doing it this once, okay? How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame, when the sacred blade it split the sky until the heavens heard our cry. In the hour of vengeance will you heed the call? On the red fields of revenge will you help avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall. Well, what did you think?
It was, yeah.
What, you didn't like it? Not quite the booming applause I'm used to.
Yeah.
No, it was incredible, honest. It's just, I'm not really sure I got it, you know? I mean, the only songs I know are the ones sung by mercs in taverns or village girls as they tend the fields. You're kinda in a different league, Dorothea. Sorry I can't really give you much more than that.
Oh, don't worry about it. This sort of thing happens more often than you'd think.
Well, as long as you're not mad. If you don't mind though, maybe you could try again for me sometime? I'd really like to hear you sing some more. And hey, I might even get better at telling you what I thought.
Sure. I suppose I can give you one more chance.
It's an acquired taste.
Oh, hey, Hapi. You sure like the outdoors, huh?
I guess you could say that. Probably because I grew up in a forest. Or maybe it's because I was forced to live in Abyss all that time.
Oh, that's right. You were at Garrigmach too. I wasn't there for very long, but I never would have guessed there was a whole town hiding just below my feet.
Well, it was. I should know. What about you, though? What did you do before hopping into the mercenary business?
Before that? Oh, well... I lived with my mom in a village deep in the mountains. Feels like forever ago now. Oh, I call her my mom, but we weren't actually related. She was more like a foster parent.
So what was she like? I don't suppose she was interested in magical research, was she?
I don't know about research, but yeah, she knew how to use magic.
Interesting. How did you two end up living together?
I don't really know the details. I can't remember anything from before I was with her. Apparently I was a foundling. Sadly, finding a starving, abandoned child isn't that uncommon. But for her to take me in and raise me as her own, I think my mom was someone special.
Yeah, I guess. She was probably a good person.
Something on your mind, Hapi?
I was just wondering why someone who could use magic was living in a remote mountain village.
You know, someone told me one time that she wasn't actually from there. But when I asked her about it, she just gave me this sad smile.
So brown?
Very interesting.
seriously, Happy, what's going on? Does it have something to do with my mom?
No, it's nothing. Sorry to bring it up. I was just letting my imagination get the better of me. Sorry if I upset you. Really.
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. No big deal. Besides, I'm sure you had your reasons, right? If you ever feel like talking about it, I'm always here.
Thanks. Just some old demons of mine.
Happens to the best of us. Don't sweat it. You want to head back and get something to eat?
Sure. Oh, and we can pick some berries on the way. I think I saw some a little bit ago.
What kind? After all my time in the mountains, I'm something of a berry expert myself.
We get to learn more about his mother somehow.
Oh, hello. You're looking rather sharp today.
Huh? But this is just the same thing I always wear. It's actually so dirty, it's kind of embarrassing.
Well, aren't you humble? I happen to think that all that grime complements your rugged appearance rather well.
Grime? Hey, if that's how you see it, I'll take it. These clothes are probably starting to stink a bit, though. Hold on. I smell something, and it's definitely not grime. Flayn, are you wearing perfume?
You noticed? This delightful fragrance is apparently in fashion. A dear friend of mine gave it to me.
Wow, I can't believe there's still perfume and fashionable stuff in these dark times.
They exist precisely because of the times. We must not allow the darkness to consume us.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right. Hey, you think I could try some of that? A little style never hurt anybody. The battlefield can be a depressing place. I could use a little more positivity.
Of course. I will bring you some later. It is certain to brighten your day. Besides, discussing popular trends always livens up a conversation. Don't you agree? Oh, I know. Why don't we go to town and seek out the newest styles? You do not have any other plans today, do you? Come then. There is no time like the present. Okay, next is... Oh, that stall over there appears to have some lovely merchandise.
Whoa, there's more? We should probably head back soon or Seteth will...
Worry not. My brother is still working. He mentioned he was particularly busy today as well. Actually, it has been a very long time since I've been out shopping like this.
Does Seteth not allow it? He sure seems to want you in arm's reach at all times.
That is correct. I am afraid he cannot help but worry incessantly about me. If he knew that I was out alone with a gentleman friend, I am certain the situation would become quite disastrous.
Disastrous?
But enough about that. Shall we continue our shopping expedition? I am sure there are many more fashionable items just waiting to be found.
Are you sure it's all right? What if someone says something? If Seteth hears we were out alone together...
I do not believe anyone would go to such lengths just to tattle on us.
I'm sure there's someone out there.
Most people find my brother intimidating, so it is unlikely anyone would approach him over something so trivial.
Well, all right. I'll keep you company a bit longer then.
Hey, was it not I who initially offered to keep you company?
You did?
Don't you remember? You spoke of your low spirits and said that the latest fashions would cheer you up.
I did?
Yes, you did. Now come along. Let us look over there next.
Oh well, not gonna rain on her parade now.
I'm sure he did. I'll have to look back at that. But yeah, Seteth, if he finds out, gonna have some stern words.
Felix, what are you doing here?
I had business in the capital. Speaking of, I hear you're that boar's knight now.
Or... Oh, you mean His Majesty?
Yeah, him. You must have it rough with a tiresome man like that leading you.
I think you're exaggerating, Felix. I wouldn't call him that at all. In fact, he even does our jobs for us sometimes.
See, that's exactly why he's such a problem. You should steal your job back from him once in a while. Use force if you have to.
Felix, are you?
Anyway, the castle has certainly changed in the past, what, 2 years since he took over? For one thing, there are many more commoners among the knights.
You have a good eye to notice that. But yes, His Majesty says there are pros and cons to it. For example, knights from noble families tend to be more polite and respectful. There were a lot of scuffles and misunderstandings in the beginning, but things seem to be calming down now.
And which are you, noble or commoner? You became a knight on Lord Lenato's recommendation, right?
Yeah, my situation is kind of strange. I'm almost stuck right in the middle. Still, I feel like there are things only I can do precisely because I don't fit into either box. But whenever I'm in real trouble, His Majesty and Dedue always come to my aid. So that's good.
Dedue as well, huh?
Yep, even the knights accept him as one of us now. No one's a better cook or more skilled with their hands. And he's a proper demon on the battlefield to boot. I hope to be more like him someday.
Please, no. One of him is more than enough. Especially that blind loyalty. Imitate that and you'll only end up throwing away your life on the battlefield.
Oh, are you worried about us? That's sweet, Felix. I always had the impression you cared for your friends, and now I know I'm right.
Excuse me?
I mean, sure, the things you say are pretty harsh, but you can't bring yourself to actually abandon someone. You always show so much concern for me, and for Dedue, and even for His Majesty.
Yeah, well, it'd be more work for me if anything happened to you, that's all. I'm busy enough as it is. Can't afford to take on more issues.
Well then, I'll do my best not to add to your problems.
I doubt you'll need to try that hard. You do a decent enough job of supporting folks already. So, keep up the good work and maybe I'll lend you a hand someday. You know, if you need it.
Thanks, Felix. I'll be counting on you.
That was a good ending to their conversation. Felix cares. He might not look it or sound it, but he cares.
You're really eyeballing that giant stack of documents there, Ashe. Let me see what you've got. Records of military drills, archives of city taxes. You know, if you're searching for a particular needle in this load of hay, I can help you out.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just thought they'd be good to study.
You're going to study all this?
Yeah. With the academy closed, I haven't had a chance to focus on learning lately. So, I thought I could give my brain a nice workout by reading old records and archives.
Hey, good for you taking the initiative. If it weren't for all this fighting, you and me would be living the schoolboy's dream right about now.
Right? We could be training together, taking classes on history and magic.
And when the ethereal moon comes, we'd go dancing with all the girls at the ball.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
So, are those records actually helping you?
Yeah. The ones on old military drills are especially interesting. It's fun just looking at them.
Just looking, huh? you might want to read a little deeper there. I mean, take this one for example. It talks about how the 3 northern houses held a joint exercise in 1166. And apparently they did so in the middle of a raging blizzard. It was so bad that some of their soldiers died, but they went ahead and did it anyway. Any idea why?
Drills in the snow in 1166. Oh, were they trying to prepare for a confrontation with Shrang?
Nailed it. They were training for the northern conquest they carried out a few years later. In other words, they'd already decided to try and take the north by 1166. So, if you look at the other drills during that time, you might be able to piece together what the late king was thinking.
Interesting. You know, another document did mention an exercise conducted in Guinevere.
Because they'd already predicted that Shrang forces would cross the mountains, which meant battling in harsh desert terrain.
And that's why they were forbidden from using horses during that drill. It's amazing how you really start to see the bigger picture when you dig into details like that.
And that's why keeping records is so important. Anyway, I've probably bothered you long enough.
No, wait, teach me more. I mean, if you have time.
If you really want to learn, you're better off asking an actual professor type. I'm just, Sylvain.
No, you're a great teacher, and I can always ask them things when we're in the capital, but they won't be around when we're on the march. I just want to learn more so I don't embarrass the other knights. Please?
No, not the puppy dog eyes. Oh, fine, I'll help. But don't expect too much.
What is this? Sylvain is smart?
This lovely weather gives cause for my feet to wander of their own accord. Oh, I think I spy a familiar face! Good day, Ashe.
Morning, Flayn. Out for a stroll?
Yes. And you are... fishing?
Yep. The army's a bit short on provisions, so I was thinking I could help add to the pile.
What a simply splendid idea. Can I take a look at your catch?
Oh, help yourself. I've been out here since before dawn, so there's quite a few fish already.
Goodness, you're right. You must be a talented angler indeed.
Oh, thanks, Flayn. And yeah, not to brag or anything, but I'm pretty confident in my abilities with the old fishing pole. My brother used to take me fishing in a nearby river when I was little.
So he taught you all you know? Oh, I must admit I'm ever so jealous. I used to go fishing with my mother long ago, but I haven't done it in years at this point. And if I even think about getting close to a river now, my brother swoops down to give me an earful.
I'm sure he's just concerned. I'd be scared to let my younger siblings fish all by themselves, too. Do you want to give it a go now?
Really?
Why not? I mean, I'll be right here to make sure you don't fall in or anything.
Thank you very much, Ashe. I'm going to catch a big one. Oh! I hooked one!
Look at that line bend! It must be huge!
Curses! It escaped.
I caught a glimpse of its shadow when you tried to reel it in. That thing was a monster.
I'm surprised to learn this river is home to a fish as large as that.
Same. I've been coming here for a long time and never once seen one that big.
It is decided then. The next time I find that fish, I will capture it. Will you join me again when that time comes? My brother will be more amenable if you agree to be there watching over me.
Seteth amenable? Yeah, that'll be the day. But sure, I'd be glad to tag along.
I wonder why Seteth doesn't let Flayn fish. But yeah, that's their attitude towards Seteth since he's so protective of Flayn. They try not to get on his bad side.
Flayn, it has come to my attention that you have gone out and aided the Knights of Seiros again. I heard that you made your way to the infirmary and spent the entire day treating the sick and wounded. What in the world were you thinking? Do you not know how dangerous that was?
I am sorry, brother. However, the knights very much appreciated my assistance.
Their appreciation is inconsequential. Your own safety should be your only concern. This is exactly what happened during that fated battle. You exhausted your strength healing those who were injured.
Yes, I remember. No matter how many people I helped, the number of wounded only increased.
You were so young. Your body must have been crying out for you to stop, and yet you refused. And now you are left with a body that demands extended periods of slumber. You have not forgotten, have you?
Of course not.
If you do not exercise extreme caution, you may not wake up were such a thing to happen again.
I am well aware. Every night I lie awake, afraid that my eyes will not open come morning. But if I let fear control me and begrudge my power, there will be no reprieve for those who suffer. The thought of that is too much to bear. Furthermore, if we lose this war...
Flayn. Should that come to pass, I will protect you. No matter the cost. I swear upon my wife, your mother.
Father, I have been wondering something. Is it truly so difficult for the people of Fodlan to live in peace? The world would be a much happier place if everyone could live in harmony with each other.
I know. I feel the same. But so do the majority of those risking their lives in this war. That is why I believe a peaceful future awaits us, beyond this dreadful conflict. That is the reason I fight. And so you do not have to.
Father.
If I lost you, I would lose the very meaning of my life. And so we will always be together.
Come now, Father. Please try to understand that I cannot stay with you forever. I will grow up eventually, though I do promise to refrain from any unnecessary recklessness. And until that day comes, I will always be with you. Besides which, I am certain Mother would be cross with me if I left you all alone.
I understand. Thank you, Flayn.
So that explains what their relationship actually is. Their father and daughter. And it explains two more things. Why Seteth is so strict with her. And why Flayn is so worried about never waking up. As was with the expedition from a few parts ago. So I think for the most part, that was actually a little less than I thought there were. Mainly because there were some that were locked. I think I have 3 that are locked at the moment. Plus, I think I have one that's locked with, I think it's Dimitri? It's either him or Dudu. But it's like I can't look at theirs because they're not here. So, It's like once they're back, and once the story progresses to the next chapter, I'll end up looking at those. But in the meantime, I'm going to also just build up the supports so I can just get more in general. So the next time you see a support conversation video like this, it'll likely be for Chapter 8. So next time will be the main quest for Chapter 7. And we'll see what happens with the story. Because with how the title was given to us, The King Awakens, something's gonna happen with Dimitri. And we're probably gonna see his true self. So until next time, I'll be seeing ya.